Hello and welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? Hope you're well. In today's video, I'll be making lacto-fermented runner beans using pink Himalayan salt containing anti-caking agents. If you're a regular on this channel, I always advise to ensure you use pure sea salt with no additives or anti-caking agent, as I prefer sea salt and get the best outcome from it. I also get asked by people if they could use pink Himalayan salt as opposed to sea salt. So for the purpose of these two main points, I'll be using pink Himalayan salt, which contains anti-caking agent, for my fermented runner beans. Let's see how it goes. For this recipe, I'll be using coriander seeds, onion, 1 tablespoon of pink Himalayan sea salt, 4 cloves of garlic, runner beans, a glass weight to keep the vegetables submerged in the brine, and of course a glass jar. I'll also be using 2 cups of water. Now let's prepare the brine. I'll simply add my pink Himalayan salt to water, mix and set aside for the salt to dissolve. Now I've taken off the tops and bottoms of the runner beans and washed them. I've also peeled the onions and garlic and crushed the coriander seeds. Here's an overview of everything I'll be using for my lacto-fermented runner beans. Next, I'll cut up the runner beans. To save time, I'll bunch them up and cut them into 3. That way they are not too tiny. I'll do the same for the remaining runner beans. When picking your runner beans at your greengrocery, ensure they are firm and as fresh as possible, and try to avoid wilted or moldy runner beans, as that would adversely affect the outcome of your fermented runner beans. Now that I'm done cutting up the runner beans, this is the size I'm going for and this is what they look like. Next, I'll slice the onions lengthwise. I'm not going to cut the garlic, I'll have them whole. Here's what they look like. Now it's time to put everything together. I'll start by adding the crushed coriander seeds to the jar. Then I'm going to add some sliced onions, a few cloves of garlic, and then begin adding the runner beans. I'll push them down as I go along to ensure the jar is well packed and compact. I'll add some more garlic, onions and runner beans, then push them down again. Now that the jar is packed to my satisfaction, this is what it looks like. Next, I'll add the brine which we made at the beginning of this video to cover the vegetables. In this clip, you can see me mixing the salt with the water, as the pink Himalayan salt did not dissolve properly. I'll put in the fermentation weights to keep the vegetables submerged in the brine. I'll clip the jar and leave it to ferment for 2 weeks on the kitchen counter. Now look at that color. It's 2 weeks later, and as you can see, the bright green runner beans from day 1 are now dull. I'll take out the fermentation weight and take out some of the fermented runner beans. Here's a closer look. To be very honest, this is not the best outcome. As you can see in this clip, the fermented process was uneven, as evidenced in the light and dark green patches on the runner beans. Also, if you look at the bottom part of the jar, you see a bit of pink sediment or coloration, which tells me there's a high possibility that the pink Himalayan salt which I've used may contain colorants. Another point worth mentioning was that when I tasted the runner beans, it was lacking the unique sour and tangy taste and smell of fermented vegetables. After doing my research, here are a few possibilities why my runner beans did not ferment properly. Number 1 is that most pink Himalayan salts sold for culinary use contain additives such as anti-caking agents, which we all know, which can slightly alter the microbial environment, slowing down or preventing the growth of the lactobacillus, which is the bacteria responsible for the tangy and sour taste and smell unique to fermented foods, which I believe led to the uneven fermentation and lack of flavor in my lacto-fermented runner beans. Number 2 is that while pink Himalayan salt is marketed as mineral rich and have trace minerals such as iron and magnesium, that's a good point, but again that can influence microbial activities. When you compare that to sea salts without additives, they tend to create a more stable brine that supports the growth of lactic acid or the lactobacillus bacteria more consistently. The third point is that because only part of the runner beans got fermented, suggests to me that the brine wasn't ideal for bacterial activity. During fermentation, if lactic bacteria does not dominate quickly, other microbes can take hold, leading to partial fermentation or even spoilage. My fourth and final point is that the pink sediment might be added color, which I already mentioned, or from some form of minerals in the pink Himalayan salt. And it could be that it's combined with possible yeast growth as the environment wasn't fermentation friendly. In times where I've used pure sea salts, the sediments tend to be lighter, cloudy brine from active bacteria and not mineral residue. With all these, the conclusion is that it's best to use pure sea salt while making lacto-fermented vegetables. If you want to try pink Himalayan salt, you can go ahead, but just ensure it's free of additives, colorants, or any anti-caking agents as best as you can. These are just the possibilities of why my fermented runner beans didn't ferment properly. There might be other reasons, I'm not sure what they are. So I guess we've come to the end of this video on the surprising reasons why my lacto-fermented runner beans failed. If you've enjoyed watching, please give this video a thumbs up, please subscribe to my channel, and please click on the notification bell icon so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, if you've got any questions, any comments, or any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye.